What the fuck is up? Let's go. Season 1, episode 8 of Is This What It Is? I'm your host, Gunvid. What the fuck is up? Huh? Fuck is going on in your life? I don't know, but I got a good show. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so first topic, UFC 299, Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. It's going to be a great fight. You know? And I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I feel like this card has been under promoted. I feel like they've been fucking promoting UFC 300 way more than this, and this is actually a pretty good fight. Actually a great fight, I would say. So, I think I introduced this fight the wrong way. It's actually O'Malley versus Vera Part 2. So in their first fight, I'd say Sean O'Malley seemed to be getting better of the striking as far as like punches goes. Obviously Marlon, he won the fights with his leg kicks. But yeah, other than the leg kicks, I feel like, I think Sean O'Malley was doing better with the striking. And what I want to talk about in particular is his movement. Pause, as far as his footwork. Now, as far as footwork, I think that was the greatest display of footwork that we've seen ever in the UFC, prior to all the leg kicks and whatever the fuck, and the way the fight ended. And probably no one's gonna agree with me other than Sean himself, but I mean, he was fucking incredibly he was incredibly quick with his movement. And just as far as the way he was moving, I feel like we never seen anything like that. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And he's not going to get any credit for it because the way he lost the fight. But it's like, and, he made excuses, so you never want to... I don't really know if you can call it an excuse, because he did say that he lost the fight because Cheeto kicked him, but... if you can go back and watch the fight, if they even have the full fight on YouTube, O'Malley really wasn't looking bad. And like I mentioned, footwork, I think Cody Garbrandt would be number 2 as far as how great his footwork is in the octagon. And probably Dominic Cruz is close. I know some people would probably say Max Holloway, but it's like, I feel like his style mostly was like just like leaning out of the way instead of using footwork to move away from punches, Like you watch him versus Jose Aldo, and it's like, bro, he was just moving out the way and just hitting him. But back to this fight. Yeah, so in the first fight, Marlon hit him with a lot of leg kicks, and it was the last one that really did a lot of damage. So he hit him with the leg kick, and I don't know where exactly he hit him, but fucking Sean O'Malley got hit with the leg kick and he fell, and then Marlon Vera hit him with some mean punches, knocked him out. I know Sean O'Malley says he wasn't knocked out, but I mean, if you look at the fight, I'd say it was a TKO. I mean, he there's a reason there's a reason the ref stopped the fight. So yeah, my prediction for this next fight, this Saturday, I think Sean O'Malley is going to win a decision. I think it's going to be a close fight. Maybe it might not be a close fight. So I know this is kind of a weird prediction, but I feel like most of the fans are going to think that Cheeto won the fight, but the judges are going to give the fight to Sean O'Malley. I think the UFC likes Sean O'Malley more. And I know the UFC and Dana is probably going to say this is bullshit and they don't do favoritism, but money talks, and Sean is, I think from their perspective, he's more promotable, he's more marketable, and they can make more money with him. So yeah, I know Dana and the UFC says they have nothing to do with the judging, and they might be right. I don't know. But, if they did have any control, my prediction is that they're going to give Sean O'Malley the decision. As far as how the fight is going to go, I do think Sean O'Malley is going to get the better of the striking. And so I do think he is going to win the fight. But I feel like the fans are more of a fan of Marlon Cheeto Vera. And so they want the underdog to win. Sean O'Malley's views is kind of is viewed as like the teacher's pet, if you want to call it that, or as the favorite from the UFC. So anytime you have someone like that, it's like, yo, get this guy the fuck out of here. No one likes people who are favored by the commission or the powers, so to speak. So, it's going to be an interesting fight. Let's see how it goes. And the reason why I predict Sean to win, even though I feel like they're kind of equal when it comes to talent and skill, because I feel like Marlon has more power, but Sean is more slick and he has better footwork and technique. So yeah, this is gonna be a great fucking fight, man. Either way, personally, I like both fighters. I think they have good styles. I'm not really biased towards either fighter, but I feel like, the way the first fight ended and the things Sean has been saying as far as excuses and not giving Marlon the credit that he feels he deserves, I feel like he's gonna really want to fucking knock him out. And all this shit, Sean's been talking, and he's gonna be talking at the press. I feel like that's gonna make Marlon really want to fucking knock him out. And when you do that, you don't go with your game plan as much, and you don't stick to your game plan. So you start doing things like overextending your punches and leaving yourself vulnerable to be countered. And that's a big mistake when it comes to Sean. So Sean's a really fucking difficult fighter to fight against because of the mental aspect and how quick he is with his striking. So it's just like, you just fucking hate Sean, bro. If you ever have to fight Sean O'Malley, it's like, fuck this guy, man. Pause. It's like, fuck you, bro. You talking all this shit, and then and then I try to punch you when you're just really fucking quick with counters and shit like that. Fuck, man. Pause. But it's like, You don't want to fight that guy. I know from the perspective of a lot of people who aren't skinny, they look at skinny people like, oh, this little fucking skinny guy, I'll beat the fucking shit out of him. And then until you go and try to fight him and he fucking knocks you out, you know? So yeah, I can relate to O'Malley in that way, but as far as being a fan of either fighter, I think Marlon Chito Vera is a great fucking fighter. You know? So, I'm not even going to say I'm biased. So, my prediction is, and still, next fight on the card is Dustin Poirier. Let me get it right. I don't want to say his last name wrong. I do want to respect people's names because, like, I know what it's like to have people say your name wrong. You know, my name is Nasir, and I feel like it's not really a difficult name to say, but, you know, in school, teachers would be like, Nasir. Like, I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, Nasir. Who the fuck even thinks it's said like that? You know? Like, how do you see the name Nasir, Nasir, written down and be like, oh, Nasir? Shut the fuck up. So, yeah, Dustin Poirier versus Benoit St. Denis. So, Dustin Poirier's record is 29 wins, 8 losses. He doesn't have a draw on his record and 1 no contest. His wins are 14 wins by way of knockout / TKO, 8 submissions, and 7 decisions. His losses are 3 knockouts / TKOs, 3 submissions, and 2 decisions. And he's had 1 no contest. I believe that was to Eddie Alvarez. When he needed him, when he was technically a grounded opponent. Benoit St. Denis, 13 wins, 1 loss, no draw on his record, and 1 no contest. His wins, 4 wins by way of KO / TKO, 9 submissions, 0 decisions. He has 1 loss by decision and 1 no contest. As far as my prediction for this fight, I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen too much from Benoit St. Denis. Looking at his record, he seems to be a submission artist. And, you know, like I said, I don't know too much about him, so I don't have too much to say about this fight. You know, Dustin Poirier, he got knocked out in his last fight by Justin Gaethje. He got hit with a mean right head kick. It just knocked him out. He was knocked out before he even hit the ground. Pause. But yeah, I feel like people are going to count him out in this fight. They're probably going to say he's going to get knocked out again. But I'm not going to count him out. You know, Dustin, I've seen a lot more of his fights, so I know more about his career. So I feel like I can't make too much of a prediction for this fight, but I think he's skilled enough, and you know, he's great enough to win this fight. I think he's gonna be more slick, definitely more defensively aware. You know, when it comes to blocking kicks and just blocking strikes in general. So yeah, I think Dustin Poirier is gonna win by decision. Next fight I want to predict is Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. It's gonna be a great fucking fight. I'm really hyped for this fight. You know, I'm more excited for this fight, pause, than the main event. you know? I mean, than the championship fight. And that's no disrespect to them, but it's like we've seen them fight already. We haven't seen Kevin Holland versus MVP. And this is MVP's first fight in the UFC, so it's going to be a great fight. You know, I know the fans can't wait to watch this one. I know I can't wait. It's going to be fucking dope. You know, there's so many different ways this fight can go as far as how one of these fighters is going to get knocked out. You know, both fighters can throw great punches, great elbows, great knees, great kicks, especially. You know, Kevin Holland is a kung fu fighter. And if I'm not mistaken, I think MVP does either karate or taekwondo. But I know he throws crazy kicks. Both fighters do. So it's going to be a great fucking fight. As far as technique, I think Kevin Holland has better punching, like boxing-wise. MVP is more... I think he might be quicker. He's I think he's more like a spring action fighter as far as like going from point A to point B and just super pause, like exploding with his strikes. I think Kevin Holland is more of a kickboxer, and we kind of saw that in the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight, even though he lost pretty badly in that fight. But you see the way he punches, the way he throws kicks. He's more like a boxer and a kickboxer, and he shows flashes of kung fu and things like that. So yeah, I do think technically, even though even though Kevin Holland is more technically sound, I do think MVP is going to surprise him and get him with the knockout punch. You know? One of them crazy fucking Superman kind of punches that he throws. I think he's going to catch him after he throws a punch. And he's maybe off balance or just not expecting MVP to throw a punch after he throws. So I think he's going to get knocked out with a punch as far as the round. I think it's going to be in the second round. So yeah, there goes my prediction for that. As far as sports go, I don't really have anything else for you guys, but what I do want to talk about is you know, drama when it comes to sports analysts. And I'll be specific as far as who I'm talking about and you know, what I think about them. Since we're talking about fighting, you know, give me a second to light this joint back up before I fucking say what I gotta say. And you know, this topic, it is a serious topic, but as far as their drama, if you want to call it, or issues, I don't think it's that serious. I don't think it is gonna be a point where any of these people fight each other. And I think that's a great thing. I think it's a good thing. As far as outside of sports, I'm for peace when it comes to the streets. Peace in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Word up. So, on that note, let's get this fucking joint lit. Alright. Whew. It's that fucking fire, son. I'm fucking lit. This is a good morning. This is a really good morning for me. You know, I feel great. You know? Lately I've been in a negative mind state. Because when you're someone that's what they call real, or whatever you want to call it, you know, not fake, and someone who doesn't sell their soul to the devil for money, as far as, you know, whatever you want. If you want to call it the Illuminati or a cult or whatever satanic cult, when it comes to music and art, you know, I'm not someone that does that. So I have been in a negative mind state, because when you don't do that, you're not promoted as much by museums and by music labels, even though I don't want a record deal, because I know there's devilish things to where you have to sell your soul to the devil, and people make sacrifices. And just being straight up about it, I'm gonna call it how it is. I don't fuck around, alright? Especially when it comes to these topics. These are very serious topics. So when it comes to that, you're not going to get, you know, as much money or whatever, promoted as much, when clearly, if you see my paintings and if you listen to my music, you know, I should be on the radio. I should be all over the museums and galleries like these other artists are. You know, I should be getting all this money. But you know what? It is what it is. No pun intended. So, you know, Shannon Sharpe and Mike Epps had their issues. You know, like, if you want to be speaking about conspiracy theories or whatever the fuck, I feel like that shit might have been a fucking fake drama to get people interested in the fucking All-Star Weekend, because no one really gives a fuck about the All-Star Weekend anymore. So, you know, part of me wants to say is that, but if it was a serious issue, because Mike Epps made a joke and said that Shannon Sharpe tried to get him on his show, and, you know what I'm saying, he didn't want him, pause, to be over there looking at his balls, and I think he said he wears tight pants. And personally, I don't look at his pants. You know, I'm not looking at other men's pants. So I don't know if he does have tight pants or not. Pause. You know, I don't give a fuck. But, you know, Mike Epps, he made the joke saying that Club Shay Shay, I think he called him gay, which is mad funny. But, you know, he said he tried to have him on the show to talk shit about to talk shit about Cat Williams, or whatever the fuck he said. And then Shannon Sharpe said he was going to pull up on him. You know, pretty much saying he was going to fucking fight him. And Mike Epps is like, motherfucker, to paraphrase, I'm not quoting him, he's like, you know what I'm saying, no one's trying to fight you, you're all fucking, pause, D-zone shit, you know, you're a fucking football player. He basically said, without directly saying that he would shoot him, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not wrong, that's what he implied. So then Shannon Sharpe was like, oh, I spoke to my sister and I listened to her, which I respect that, you know? And he said that he's going to leave it alone. And that was pretty much the end of it, until Mace was speaking about it on It Is What It Is, and he pretty much acted like he had a gun in his coat. And he was saying that this is what Mike Epps was saying, that, you know what I'm saying, like, I got a gun in my coat, you know what I'm saying, try something. And so Shannon Sharpe replies to him like, oh yeah, Mace said he was going to do something, even though that's clearly not what Mace said, you know? Mace never said he was going to do anything to Shannon. he was saying that this is the mentality that people who don't want to fight, pause, brawling people have, to where that they'll shoot you and they got a gun in their coat. And then, you know, Shannon Sharpe was like, oh, you know, you're a fake gangster, or you're a pastor gangster, is what he actually said. And then Mace replied like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I said. Basically explained it how I just said. So he's like, yeah, I didn't say that I was going to do nothing to you. I'm just saying that, you know, this is the mentality. And then he's like, Mace is like, you know, he's like, I got the utmost respect for you, but why didn't you have this energy with Skip Bayless? And he's like saying Disney isn't gangsta and fucking talking about, you know what I'm saying? Mace, you're on some shit like, yo, saying you got the utmost respect for him, but then you're on some shit like, oh, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? I'm gangster too, I'm from Harlem, you keep talking about you're from Harlem, but then you're saying, oh, I got the utmost respect, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to fight you, So which one is it? You know what I'm saying? You 1 second you're saying Disney isn't gangsta, you know, Disney isn't tough, and put your glasses back on, you know what I'm saying? And then the next second is, utmost respect. That's two different things. So, you know what I'm saying? You either want to fight him or you don't. And, you know, I'm not copping a plea or nothing. I don't give a fuck, you know. Like, I don't want any of you to fight. And I don't think you're going to. But it's like, I'm just tired of all the fucking passive aggressiveness in sports media when it comes to analysts talking about professional players in general, whether they're retired or not. But just as far as, you know, people like, oh yeah, like even Cameron with Mario Chalmers. First he's saying he would beat him in a match, in a 1-versus-1 basketball match, and then he's saying, oh, well, you know, I gotta get in shape, and then he's like, oh, you gotta get your weight up, and saying you gotta bring some validity to a basketball game when he's an NBA champion and you never made the NBA, and you know, your most famous highlight is you missing a game-winning shot. So, you know, which one is it? Can you beat Mario Chalmers in the basketball game or not? Or, you know, when it's time to schedule it, it's like, oh, I gotta get in shape. Pause. And then you, Mace, you got the utmost respect for Shannon Sharpe, but you're screaming, put your glasses back on. Disney isn't gangsta. I don't care about what most people care about. Like, bro, you're supposed to care. You're a pastor. You said you left the streets and hip-hop because of, you know, all the negative things it was doing to your community. And, of course, that has to be respected. You know, I don't want anyone to die in the streets. I don't want anyone to get shot anymore, you know? So definitely respect that. But you got to pick a side. Did you leave the streets or not? You know what I'm saying? You screaming, telling him to put his glasses back on, but you're saying you don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Cam, you said Astoria is Little Harlem, and then Mace, you was like, yeah, Little Harlem, and you wanted to say it with your chest, and then I diss y'all and make Harlem is Little Astoria. Now, you know what I'm saying? Cam messaged me talking about, you only have 153 followers. You got to worry about us when you got at least 500,000. I don't give a fuck about followers. I clearly don't. You know what I'm saying? Because of how freely I speak. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You're going to be talking about Astoria's Little Harlem, but then you get called out to do a remix to my song, You Can Too, and I was legitimately going to take part of the proceeds from the song. If you did the remix, this shit definitely would have made a lot of money. We could have fed people in Harlem who are homeless. We could have fed people in Astoria. We could have, I wanted to make a program to where, you know what I'm saying, on some drug awareness shit to get people off of drugs. Because people are really dying out here. I got friends that have died. I'm not going to say their names, but I have friends who have died from drugs. And I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say me because I, you know, certain things I can't talk about, whatever. But, you know, I know, you know what I'm saying, people like you have had to sell drugs to survive because of, just to call that out, what white men have done to black people as far as slavery. You know, it's a horrible thing. And as far as post-slavery, to where they made laws to where black people can't make a certain amount of money, and there was segregation, and you know, they put black people in housing projects to where there's no really opportunities for them to work regular jobs, and they bring drugs from Afghanistan, my country, to these projects, and cocaine from Colombia, and they brought it to the hoods so you guys could sell drugs and have competition and kill each other over it. And I know about all of this. So when I call you out to do a positive song and you don't do a remix and be on some shit to where you're too famous and I don't have enough followers, and you know, when I challenge you to get on the song, now you're scared to get on the song and have fans vote to see who had the better verse. Now you're scared to get on the track. So on your show, it's Harlem Is Little Astoria, but then you get called out to do a song on some positive shit. And now, you know, oh shit, I'm too good. My record sold too much. I got too much money. I got all these nice things. What about all these motherfucking people from your hood who still are struggling and want nice things? I want to see you do more for them. You know what I'm saying? Because you talk about, oh, you don't like, you know, I heard your freestyle, Cam. You don't like Harlem anymore. It's too gentrified. And you said some shit back in the days, oh, they made bodies disappear. That's what you want? That's what you like? Talking about raping poodles? Talking about, on Bout About It, you said your mom's mom been raping her. Saudi Arabia. That's crazy, bro. Is that what you like? Because I call you out to do a positive song on some shit to where, you know, we can make money and feed homeless people, give them homes, shelter, a place to live. That's the type of time I'm on. We can make a contract to where, you know, the proceeds from the songs have to go to projects focused on helping people. You know, when I say projects, I mean a team of people with a mission to help people. And then, you know, you don't respond to that. Then I make Harlem Is Little Astoria. I roasted y'all on that track. You can hear every bar is fucking fire as fuck. The beat is fire. You know what I'm saying? The flow is fire. I fucking killed that song. And y'all didn't want to reply to that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm disappointed with y'all. I love Harlem. I love all the jazzy musicians, that came from Harlem. I love their music. I love the great hip-hop music. You know what I'm saying? Even your songs. But y'all gotta do better. And I want to hear y'all reply to this. Because that shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? That shit is whack. Mace talking about Disney isn't gangster, whatever the fuck you said about Disney screaming at him to put his glasses on, but then you talking about, oh, utmost respect. I don't want to fight you. And I hope y'all don't fight, you know? I love black people, you know what I'm saying? I do have respect for Black History Month and, you know, having respect for Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, everyone, not just everyone who had a name, but everyone who has stood up for black people and fought for their rights, you know? So it's Black History Month and y'all are talking about, fighting each other and talking about you don't care about the things most people care about. You're a pastor, you're supposed to care. If anyone doesn't care, you're supposed to care. So let's see how much you care. And I do wish peace in all communities. And specifically your community. I don't want to see any more rappers get killed. I don't want to see anyone get killed. I don't want to see anyone fight that's not in boxing or MMA, because that's their profession and that should be respected. But even as far as fighting goes, part of me doesn't even want to see people get hit, because when you get older and you become more wise and mature, you realize these things are very serious and people can die. One of my friends that I trained with for a couple years, he passed away. I'm not going to say his name because I know how disrespectful people can be, but rest in peace to him. Okay? And so know that fighting is very serious. And if you're not a professional fighter, do not fight people. Okay? So there is season 1, episode 8 of Is This What It Is? Peace out.